Do you see how this is happening? Do you understand the struggles I'm going through with Facebook? So it looks like that this is probably going to be my last It Wednesday on Facebook, because Facebook is very much tripping. Mark, get it together. Get it so together. So I was talking about it. I literally had to close off the last live. I'm going to keep it up because I started, but I'm going to go over on this slide and finish up about, I had to get something to drink. This is just, I don't have no alcoholic beverage to go along with it. So this is just straight pineapple juice, but I need it spiked. But it was getting good. It was getting good. I was talking about burnout. As you can see, we back with it. And I'll just have to re-record for Periscope. But let's go back real quick and talk about what I was talking about with burnout. Burnout is the psychological term that refers to long-term exhaustion and diminished interest in work and other things. So, like I was saying, if you catch the other video, I'm going to have them back to back, so you'll be able to see from the beginning what I talked about. But I said that I know there was times when I suffered through burnout. Being in school, I got a bachelor's degree, I have a master's degree. When I was younger, I played basketball, like literally. It wasn't no recreation thing. I played in school. I played for schools. I was actually gonna go overseas, but my mom got sick. Hey, awesome sis. Yeah, you got in on this one. I was live already, and I don't know what's going on. But thank you for tuning in so much. But yeah, I played ball. I played football as well. So like I said, I'm a tomboy. Don't let the hair and the nails and me and stilettos fool you. Hey Kim, hey Millionaire, how you doing? Thanks for tuning in. I'll always wear sneakers and get on the gridiron and get on the court and play some ball. But I knew I was battling and suffering through burnout because I didn't want to do any of that. So some of the things that is associated with burnout is you just become detached. Yeah, I played football. Yeah, I played with my cousins. Not so much my brothers. I was always around my cousins, so I watched them. I was a tomboy, and you got to play with the fellas. So it's like, okay, I'm going to play with them. And then when I got too good, they was like, all right, you can't play with us no more. Go find something else to do. So I was like, okay, I got into cars. Now they're like, okay, you are too much of a boy. Like, go play with dolls. All right, so I played with dolls that had some dope cars. But yeah, I used to play football. Right? Especially outside is this house where I'm staying at. I played right outside on concrete. That's even worse. But when I had stopped wanting to play basketball, I stopped wanting to play football, I stopped watching it and everything. These are some of the things that you might hear somebody say when they're battling burnout or that is coming up. This job sucks. Things will never get better. You hear somebody talking about their finances and they're just like, I'll never get out of debt. Nothing I do makes any difference. This job creates nothing of value in the world. It's really small. That's why I'm looking. It says, I sit at a desk 8 hours plus a day and I don't engage my brain at all. These are some of the things you just say when you're burnt out when it comes to work, when it comes to your household. You're just like, these kids is driving me crazy. This man, this wife, y'all irking me. You just constantly, stuff is just going constantly in your brain, constantly in your brain, constantly in your brain. And that is a burnout besides other things, but that'll get you on, that'll get you on the ID channel. And I know I've battled burnout and it's gone straight into depression. Like I said in the first video that I did, I've battled depression before. I I still battle it, but it doesn't beat me this time. Me and depression be going at it sometimes. It's like, all right, so what you gonna do now? And I'm like, well, I'm gonna do this. And depression come back, be like, no, but it literally will slam you down. And you're just like, I can't move. I can't move. But I've been doing so good. Yeah, the ID channel. They need to stop actually showing stuff on ID channel, because a lot of people, never mind, I'm not even going. Let's get back to the impact of of burnout, because they need to have a, never mind, we're not even going to. But yeah, the physical effects of burnout, as I was stating before, it affects your heart very bad. Emotional effects is that it's similar to depression. As I stated before, you have a change in appetite, disrupted sleep patterns, fatigue, agitation. It can also it has economic effects on you. So if you aren't performing on your job, you're always feeling like you're going to get fired. If you're not up to being the best parent that you feel you can be, a lot of times you have that feeling. I know I have that. I'm just like, you know what? I'm not doing good as a parent. Like, something is wrong and things like that. We get all of that. That's all burnout, because we don't get a break. Especially us as entrepreneurs and business owners. Whew, Jesus, I tell you, if this was not just pineapple juice, I'm just going to put it down. But that burnout is real, and then also burnout has effect on relationships. So chronic burnout can take a toll on family and personal relationships. Some people react to burnout by withdrawing, just wanting to be left alone, or sleeping a lot. Some will develop a short fuse, blowing up at the smallest matter. Neither are going to foster happy, healthy personal relationships. That's probably why I'm single right now, because I got burnt out of my son's father. He just aggravated me. And it didn't help. See, there I go, that ID channel again. Like that, I'm going to have to watch it when I finish. Because boy, me and my son's father, we're on good terms now. He stepped up. He worked out his issues, even though we still have a battle to go through. But it definitely shows that when I was going through depression really bad then, and that burnout, it really was bad on our relationship, and that only played a small part on our breakup. But it's definitely true burnout, because that time I wasn't getting no help. So of course, when you see somebody who is gallivanting all over, and he's a DJ, so he's doing great, he's going to cities, he's DJing in clubs and everything, and I'm home with my child, taking care of 2 sick parents, getting 2 degrees, and not getting help. That was a little bit more than just burnout. That's why I said I know too much about the ID channel, and some of them shows I saw myself. So I was way past burnout. I was on Homicide Detective a couple times. I saw it. I promise you I saw it. But with all that going on, how do you fix burnout? How do you fix, getting yourself back together and making sure that you are right on track? So the first thing, of course, you have to recognize yourself in any of the effects that I was talking about, the impact that it's having on you. You got to look at it that you are battling from burnout. Your job getting on your nerves, burnout. Your kids getting on your nerves, especially the kids now, virtual learning. My son he has to log in on Friday so they can get acquainted with everything, even though he's been doing virtual learning since March. But Friday he logs in, and literally on Monday he begins his senior year of virtual learning online. Yeah, I can see myself right now getting burnt out because now I'm not home. I'm not home. I'm an essential worker, so I'm out in the field every day. I'm out. So now I have to literally make sure that he does his work, does everything, turns it in. So I'm not there to see what he's doing. Lord knows I hope I don't be on the next ID channel of mothers and kids, because this is it. This is his senior year. Like, I have a high school senior now, and I remember taking him to school his first day when he went to not only just daycare, when he started kindergarten, and now my son is getting ready to graduate high school. Yeah, fix it, Jesus, because I'm going to need it. But first of all, you have to recognize that you're going through a burnout, that you're just tired. You're tired. You have everything on your shoulders. Whether you get help or not, it's still, you can still go through burnout. So you're exhausted in your body and your mind. You know, the big fixes can come later. What you need to do right now is self-preservation. So until you can establish enough equilibrium to create a plan to deal with burnout, you just only deal with what's essential, right? So you get up, you go to work, you take care of your family, but you do it, basically you will have to do it at a minimum. You're going to do your job because that's what they're paying you, but what you want to do is, if your job is the main trigger that's causing your burnout, then it's time to not just look for another job. It's time to look for other avenues that's going to get you out of that burnout. Your job is stressing you out. Something that you're passionate about, something that you do at home that relaxes you, see if that makes you money. If you don't have that, if you don't have that particular thing that you can do at home, it's like, what, I know I could generate income off of it. The person that shared this broadcast with you is probably one of my business partners. And if I shared it, definitely contact me, because we have a phenomenal business that is helping so many people, not just us. Now, yes, we get paid to help others, but you get the credit. What we do is we help people with their credit, and it's a great thing because of that. I've actually alleviated so much stress when it came to my finances. I have my own testimony. I have a couple testimonies besides getting paid from Nove on a weekly basis and a monthly basis. I have my own testimony when it comes to student loans. I've had about $15,000 of student loans removed thanks to Nove, and that's all because of all the schooling I went to. But the fact that I saw what Nove had to offer, and I was tired of being in debt. I was tired of just looking at it. Like, literally, I was looking at my student loan bills like, are they ever going to stop? And you try to pay someone it, but you taking care of this, you taking care of that. Then you got to put a forbearance, deferment. You going back to forbearance, back to deferment. Now, all of that money adds up. So now you're like, oh my gosh, now it done went up to $100,000, $150,000. If you went to be a lawyer, doctor, it goes on, and you're just like, Jesus, what am I doing? But thanks to Nove, I was able to get rid of $15,000 so far in student loans. And this is just the beginning, because they're working on a few more. If y'all get these last couple going, woo, it's gonna be good. But hopefully the federal government will also demolish and get rid of $50,000 worth of those loans, and I'll be great. I take that 50. I'd rather all of it go, but that $50,000 go, I'll be very, very happy. When you want to get out of this burnout, like I said, you want to get up, go to work, do what has to be done. Interact with your family as much as you can, but explain to them that you need some quiet time for a moment. Now, I know it's hard when we have young kids. Also my son, he's on the autism level. So when he was younger, it was basically me. I was the only one that could understand him. Like, people would swear, it's like, what you mean you couldn't understand him? My son would talk, but you couldn't understand him. You would think that maybe his tongue was, something was wrong with his tongue. No, it's just the words that he was saying. No one understood what he was saying except, of course, his mama. So he would say stuff. So I'm literally my son's translator. So it wasn't babble. He literally was saying words that we couldn't understand. So I had to teach him how to say certain words. I had to let him see my mouth. And as I go like this, he would mimic what I'm doing and say the words. But it was so tiring because I really didn't get a break. Because as I'm teaching him how to do stuff, I still have to take care of everybody else. And it was just like, but there was times as he got older, I was able to get those moments. And now that he is older now, he doesn't mind being home. He actually likes being home with my mom. He doesn't really go out in the street, so I'm grateful for that. So if he's home, I'll go away, come back. I have my super tight circle that watches out for my mom and my son. Or I'll go to my best friend, my big sister house, come back. I'll go to another best friend, sister house, come back. I'm going to my brother's house, come back. Like, I'm not going for long, but those is my times that I can relax before that burnout shows up again. Because trust me, the burnout, it hasn't been like showing up lately, but I could feel the fire blazing, and that's definitely not the phoenix. That's not the phoenix in me coming, but that's definitely like, okay, I'm getting agitated, and that's the biggest thing. I know I'm getting agitated, and I'm just like, especially with work, biggest agitation. I'm just like, any minute I could probably throw the computer, and it really wouldn't bother me one bit, and I still wouldn't pay for it because of who I work for. But now is the time, now is not the time, I'm sorry, when it comes to your job that you're going to ask for a promotion when you're going through burnout. Now's not the time to renovate your kitchen when you're going through burnout. Now's not the time to even go back to school part-time if you're going through that burnout, because your mind is not right. You could end up saying something, doing something wrong, especially if it comes to that you're going back to school. You want to be really focused on going back to school and making sure you got your classes right. You don't want to do nothing spur of the moment, and then you get into a situation and you're just like, you throw up your hands and that's it. When it comes to work and with your family, call a sick day from work, call a sick day with your family. Matter of fact, I need to make coupons so I could just tell these two people that I live with, because I'll be getting on my mom. I treat her like my child too. I'll be like, you think you grown? So I think I'm going to have to like give coupons out and tell them that today's my sick day. I'm not dealing with y'all today. When you, here's a tip I wrote. So when you call out sick, lay in your bed face up with your head hanging off the edge. So you're just like this. Just lay there. Just lay on your bed and just relax. You don't have to be there all day. Just lay there and relax and just de-stress. Just de-stress, it makes you sound sick when you call out, but you are sick. You are literally sick. It's just that you don't have to go to the doctor, and get a doctor's note to say that, oh, I just had a stressful day, I needed to go. You just needed a day to mentally de-stress, to mentally get out. You want to talk about it. If you have family, it's probably easier to talk to them about your burnout than your boss. But it depends on the situation, because I had two phenomenal managers that I can talk to when I had issues going on, and I still talk to them now. And things like that. If you have your own place, or you're able to make your own little space in your house or apartment that's just you. Maybe you have a big walk-in closet. You could turn part of your walk-in closet to just your little sanctuary. Even if it's on the floor, you have a little chair, just a little area just for you, But you want to do all of that to make sure that you get back to you, that you don't get to the point where your burnout turns into depression. And like I said, I can speak for experience. I don't have a degree in medical that comes to this, but I have experienced it for myself where my burnout has literally turned into depression, and it's leaded on to so many other things. So I'm, as far as that part, I'm speaking from experience, but don't let the burnout get the best of you. It is, and it can, but you are stronger than that. You are stronger than this burnout. You are stronger than depression. Whoever you look up to as far as your faith, I don't know who it is, but I look up to God, and I know God is the one that brought me back from where I was, because Lord knows, I'm telling you, you would have seen me on the ID channel, or I might have been, fleeing the country somewhere in the world. It'd have been, where in the world is El Boogie? Because I I was on both sides. I was on both sides where I wanted to hurt myself, and it wasn't I wanted to hurt others. It was just one particular person I wanted to hurt. But that burnout is gone. And I want you to make sure that your burnout is gone too. So when you feel it, or you just feel like you're stressed, get up, work out. That's another thing that I've gotten back into, because I used to lift weights. Yeah, I definitely had to stop lifting weights. But lift, if you have to do some cardio to get your blood pumping, like I said, you definitely want to make sure to tell your family, your kids. It's hard when it's younger kids. Maybe you have family or friends, your significant others can just take the kids away, or take the kids to another room, or close the door, so you could just have your little sanctuary, so you could just de-stress and get out of that fire mode. Because when that burnout fire turns up, it gets very, very real. So I done did 2 videos on one topic. So you saw the first one. So definitely make sure that you go back and check out the beginning. As you can see, when you see it, you'll see that the video literally stops. I don't know if you can still hear me on it, but the video literally stops on my end. It tells me can't play the video. But I had to do part 2 here, and I want to make sure you guys are good, because we have to make sure our physical is great, not just good. You have to make sure your physical is great. You have to make sure your mental is great. And there's something in my eye, I'm sorry. Your mental is great. Like I said before, I'm a big supporter of mental health. It's probably something I should have gone into on top of business. Your spiritual, your financial, everything, all of this comes together, because we are living in a new normal. Like, we're not going back to the days where, you could just go outside and go in a restaurant without your mask, and now you're running out your car. You before, here in New York, before you get on a train or bus, you have to have a mask on. It's real. It's really real. So we're all suffering through some sort of burnout, but I'm here to tell you, it's not going to last forever for you. It's not going to last. You think that it's dark now, and it's like, you know what, just burn me up. Like, that's it. No, don't give up. Ask somebody for help. If you see this video, reach out to me, inbox me. Like I said, I'm not an expert in this field, but I have a lot of experience with the burnout as well as depression. But I'm so much better, and I'm getting even more better. So I want to thank you all for joining me tonight. I will be back on Sunday for Sip and Save Sundays. Let me know what topics you want to talk about. You want me to talk about, whether it's about finances, credit, home ownership. If you want me to talk about, of course, anything that has to do with single parenthood, I'm definitely up for it, because this is always for my single parents, but it's not just for single parents. Thank you so much for tuning in tonight. Make sure you share this broadcast with your friends and family, and make sure that if you're catching a replay, you hashtag replay so I can shout you out. Once again, this is the Natural Lady Boss, and I'm out. Peace.